had no idea I was going to take the mic tonight. But on behalf of the No Shoe Zone, I would like to say I thank each of you for coming out tonight and standing out in this cold to represent, spread a little love and care and concern. I really do appreciate that. Keep fighting and make some noise for Tyree Moorhead.
Say his name.
Tyree Moorhead.
And this is my brother Mo. Here you go, Mo. Mic check.
Mic check. Like y'all already know, as we already know, there was a mortar. Tyree Moorhead community. Whatever, things that he had going on with the was changing and making better for his community. So at this point in his life, it didn't matter what his past was. What he was doing, and what he was doing was positive and motivating. If people could just see the light he brought into the city, we need justice.
Justice.
Say his name. Tyree Moorhead.
No. I'm going to bring up my beautiful sister, Angela. Like I said, this unfortunately doesn't even live in Baltimore, but she always in Baltimore, lifting up her brother, Timothy Flynn. Felt like both of them were very important, and they need to connect. We need to make the connection. First of all, the mental health, because we all go through it. We all go through it. Do that mean I deserve to be brutally murdered and executed? No. And the fact that they claim that both victims had weapons, right? They might serve your racist killers to accountability, not even with a scratch. That's the part that makes me for all the victims. I don't pick and choose a victim and say, oh, well, no, I'm a victim, because guess what? Nobody deserves to be brutally murdered. And the fact that I know how it's 154 days for an autopsy, we had to bury my brother without it, because we had no information about his murder. We knew what happened. The witnesses told us everything. They didn't tell us anything. So literally, to bury my brother, you come in this world with a birth certificate, you leave this world, shame on this city. And we've been out here 9 years, 488 weeks, all of them, from Poopy Hall to the commission. Shame on the man, because they come out and they say all this stuff. For one, with Tyree case, they found that night he was executed. But when he was surviving and showing us and taking us to his trail, it was a start that, oh, we got Tyree Moore, he's a non-violent person, all this covered over top of his body. Oh, now they don't know who he is. We know who he is. Shame on y'all. It was an execution. Y'all need to be crystal clear when they say I'm talking from a clear heart. I don't use drugs, I don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't do any of that. But I'm just saying from a clear heart and mind. When they do stuff, target attacks, please, we literally are not safe. We telling y'all we've been stalked by law enforcement officers. Please, so if they come execute me, don't say, oh, well, she was going. They can make up anything and say somebody was going to execute you. Walk away and then do it in front of your family. His father saw the video. And I said, oh my God, who was that man watching? But you could tell he was not had to learn. His father, just like Anthony Anderson, was murdered in front of his mother. Was murdered. Timothy Flynn was murdered in front of his children. So no further ado, I'm sorry. Before I bring on the phone,
Good evening, everybody. I've been with Tyree for maybe a little bit over 2 years, and I want to speak on his behavior. Very, very good hard. It's a difference between weak and unstable. This man was unstable. The day before he got the hour, and I said to him, you are going to have to let go of that. And things happen to him. Unfortunately, this is what we are going through for our young kids. The heart of Baltimore City dealing with our young kids. The squeegee can make some money. Talk to these kids. You walk around with the three-piece suit on, you don't know the struggle that these kids are going through with this illness. I said, let it go. It's darkness. That's like walking back forward. He said, Mommy, I keep calling me. I said, Ma, I can't let it go. I said, you gotta let it go. When he was unstable. He was not mentally ill. And I don't know why people keep saying this new drug. I'm gonna speak on his behalf because I hate when somebody's gone, they can't speak for themselves. This man never did drugs. He might have smoked a little pot, but the hard drugs. He was not on medication. That's another thing. He was not on medication. He ill people for over 20 years. So I knew this man was not mentally ill. He was just out of people. Let me tell you guys, they did not understand him. I did not understand him. I talked to him maybe 2 times. I said, now I understand. See, when you get into a place, you understand. You know how to deal with that person. Unfortunately, when they shot this man, my heart, family, it really does. They did not have to shoot. They could have tased this man. That's probably what you're doing. He was a non-violent person. He was all for the no shoot positive. So, I'm just standing up for him. And I said, God, let me make a way. Open the door. He on his behalf. He said, Mommy, God talks to you. You have a pure heart. Never did drugs. I don't do drugs. I don't smoke. I'm not a saint. I don't even cuss. But my eyes are open to see what's going on in this world. And right now, Tyree is gone. And I pray to God that they will find a way for our young kids to keep this going on, legacy, moving on. This is why I got my grandboys here right now tonight. Because I told my daughter, I want them to see this, how the police officer, this man did not have to get, not at all. Not at all. But I thank God for this, all this right is going on. Thank God for this. God is first. Number one in my life. I don't know about you guys, but he's first. And then the community is next. So I thank God for this on tonight. So I always say there's a solution. I mean, if there's a problem, it's a solution to every problem, to these problems. Amen.
Amen. And I feel Tommy for right here knocking all that over. And that's my mama. That's my mama. And that's my mama. She represented. And let's be clear too, when I said mental illness, I don't mean chicken flies and all that. I just mean we living in society where you're seeing people normal. That does something to any and everybody. Every time I see the news, and then they're talking about the squeegee kid, and then I see the young baby that they're now gonna send him to prison for the rest of his life. Man jumped out, a grown man jumped out with a bat. And my heart goes out to that family, but right is right in the day when it's our skin color. That's what they look at, and they don't give a damn about it. They send our babies, and that's the truth. It's sad that I'm right now. But I'm gonna bring my sister to check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Timothy Fleming, say his name.
Timothy Fleming.
On Wednesday, I had the pleasure of receiving a call from the state attorney office telling me to kill the cops that murdered my brother. One day before I cussed, fuck them.
and fuck 12. A day before Thanksgiving, you call me to tell me you're not going to prosecute these killers. My family might see it on social media or in the media. Monday morning, they call me back. So you're going to call me Wednesday and then call me back on Monday and then see about it. So what was the point of y'all calling me on Wednesday? Just to disturb disrupt what little bit of Thanksgiving that me and my family was trying to have? Let me tell y'all something. I don't wish nothing bad on nobody. Marilyn Mosby, Michael Harrison, you getting yours too. Brandon Scott, Jason Zimmerman, yours coming. Gaston Melendez, you're all the ones that's in that circle that murdered my brother and approved the murder of a mental health crisis. My brother did not have issues, but he was still having a mental health crisis that day. Okay, get it straight. We all go through some type of anxiety, depression, PTSD. Even if you don't know it, and it all stems from when we this tall, growing up, and of age. So my brother was going through a mental health crisis that day. Brandon Scott got on the television and said, "Do what they were trained to do." He said, "What they were trained to do." Now let me tell you about the taser. They didn't tell y'all that yet. They're going to tell you that. It's not protocol. If it's not protocol, get rid of them. If it's not protocol. My brother was literally less than 5 feet. But it's not protocol.
Told us it only works 60% of the time or something.
My brother had asthma. He would have went straight down. He would have went straight down. Okay? He would have went down with one bullet. But how many did he get? 7. I have an autopsy report, so I don't even really know. They said they shot maybe 12 or 13. How many hit my brother? I want to come here when I can. My brother kids are still in that house that he was murdered in. They think my brother was this random guy in a house with this random white kid. He wasn't. They were his kids. 12-year-old and a 14-year-old still in that house. This is what they don't know. This is what they're not telling you. This wasn't just a random guy and a random girl. They've been together over 16. But they see this black man and a white woman and then they want to kill him. I don't like to make nothing racial. I'm just looking. It was less than 3 minutes that they killed him. They talked to him. They went through a mental health crisis. You mean to tell me you were trying to talk me down to less than 3 minutes? That's crazy. You want to talk me down in less than 3 minutes, and then they did what they were supposed to do? Wait till that happens to one of their families. Let's see how they feel. God for right. Now, when Kimberly Roswell called me on Monday, she said, "What can I do for you, Miss Sutton? Because you were upset when we called Wednesday. Excuse you. When you have been upset if somebody called your family the day before Thanksgiving was so fuck." I said, I know what you can do. Get my family out of that house. Get my family out of that house. Did a GoFundMe. That's not enough money. I still have the money. $3,000 is not enough to move a family out of one house to another. This city is born and raised in this city, so don't get it twisted. That's why I left. Because I was born and raised here. I left here in 1996 after fuck away. I come back for this when I come. It's not nothing joyous. It's to keep my brother's name alive. Also, to keep the rest of the victims. Tyrone West. Say his name, Tyrone West.
Tyrone West.
Anthony Ann. Nicholas Lee.
Nicholas Lee.
And the list goes on and on. Freddie Gray.
Freddie
The
Gray.
list goes on. Tyree Moorhead. The list goes on and on. Darnell will stop. Kareem Gaines, when will it stop? When will it Baltimore City? They're not going to stop. And there's also there about the way these people call families during the holiday to give them this news. Now I'm excited for my brother's autopsy report. If not Christmas Eve, then New Year's Eve. Okay? I'm already bracing myself for it now. They did it last year when they told me that when I filed the criminal review board case. They told me it was going to file that June last year. I kept calling September, October. They called me November. I had to think about it. It was right before what? It's going to be over a year before we give you the results because we're still investigating in this case. They say that I know it normally takes. It's going to take probably a little over a year.
Same.
And that's when. The medical examiner up this month, December. No, not David Fowler, the new one they just had last year, the one that resigned in December. With over 300 bodies sitting in the medical examiner's office, right? Needing autopsy reports, right? I don't even live in this dusty ass dirty city. Y'all need to get y'all stuff together in this city. It's going down. Mic check.
Mic check.
Check.
I just wanted to say, because I was hearing about our loved ones got shot. Well, being as my brother was tased. He was tased in the house. Bloody murder. And if that wasn't enough, to be tased in your neck 4 times. Let's talk about the traffic stop that ended my brother's life. With 17 mainly and kicking him. Let's talk about when my brother, for no reason, was pulled over by repeat weeds that almost killed somebody 24 hours, had 6 other victims. All he had to do was put this duty. My brother would still be here. But literally, he was a part of the gun trace task force that was setting guys up, robbing them, stereotyping them, because I let my brother above the time. He was targeted, profiled, targeted, and murdered. But he got locked. He turned the light. Witnesses say he turned the control on in my car, and y'all pulling me over type of thing. And at this moment, Ruiz said, this is what the F we do. And his white comrade said, yeah, to you N-word. And they pulled my brother out by his dreadlocks, and he got tased 4 times in his neck. Then Chapman sprayed, I don't know, was pepper spray with 2 cans of chemicals into my brother's face, nose, mouth. My brother screaming with his hands up, running, telling people to call the police on the police. How, Trayvon Martin. And then they said a whole army of police officers pulled something, a scene out of a movie that my brother unfortunately was a part of that never asked for, that he barely knew. And I'm telling y'all, I would have worked with my brother that day when I told him I'm coming. Y'all wouldn't have met someone to joke, because there's no way in the world I would have stood there and watched my brother. They would have said a brother and sister duel. They probably would have banned out both of us, and y'all would have never met. I'm gonna be transparent and honest. But the fact that you had 18 officers beating them with batons, kicking them, beating them from one side of the street to the other, and then after you hog tie him, half to the middle of his back, he's face down on concrete. You let a 340-pound killer named David Lewis come set. Everybody talk about Jordan because that was televised. Everybody talk about Freddie Gray because that was televised. Ties. But this is what they did to my brother. And they wonder why I would not drop. I'm never going to drop this mic and go away.
Right.
I'm never. I do this not for these kids. I do this for all of us. That's right. Because nobody deserves to be brutally murdered. And I mental health crisis, you stressed out, whatever. You having a bad day. Nobody deserves to get actually have to watch this on TV. This is not normal. I feel sorry for these beautiful babies. That's me. I'm a teacher, so I love children. That's my heart. That's my passion. Don't pay. Only got enough to pay my bills, but that's what I do it from my heart. Because I love the babies. They don't deserve to see this kind of pain. This is stuff that we saw Dr. King and all on March through. We didn't know we was going to be a part of something like this, a nightmare that nobody never asked for. Sisters deserve to go home to their families. So do we.
Right.
So do we. And anybody be going through a mental health crisis. Somebody almost killed them 2 months prior. On his Facebook Live. I watched him all the time. You, the beautiful family, all y'all. Him kicking knowledge, talking about God, always. Always. He murdered and walked off, and then who's at his house? The police. And you're not telling me they didn't set this. And then when he get murdered, his beautiful wife is not with him, some strange lady. All of that strange. Like with my brother. Who sent that lady that was in the car with him? We need to watch who our peoples be with. That's reality. It may sound the same, but this is reality. Because the woman that was in the car, this lady, who sent her? Who is she? I ain't never seen her at a cookout. I don't know who. We need to watch out for our loved ones. It starts by communication. When one of your loved ones say, hey, somebody stalking me, believe them. Believe them. His laying with bullets ready on the ground. You command him. You tell him, get down. And he doing what you say, hold up, get down. Some say, drop the weapon first. First command, drop the weapon. He would have thrown it down. He listened to me. He's like, okay. You say, get down. I know why he down. Drop that, and you running them down. Execution. You wanted to do that. Who's going to wipe them out? It's a game. It's a sport to them when they kill on them. Exactly. To execute them. Exactly. That's the exact reason. They wanted to. And then this was a man of God that he was hard to kill. He done got stabbed in his neck, didn't die. Got hit 3 times in the neck, different parts of his body, didn't die. Was still educated.
They shot him 13 times, took a pause.
For the kill shot. For the kill shot.
Another bullet.
For the kill shot. And then was reloaded.
You know, a gun only holds 13 in the clip. So that means you had to take the clip out, put another bullet in it, and then ride up to my man with your gun already on your lap.
Ready.
You knew what you was doing.
Ready.
Your for a second. You knew what you was
Right.
doing. It was premeditated.
Exactly.
It was plotted
Remember, trees, and it was normal.
out. Right.
Even hung by trees. You couldn't say nothing, say something. That's the generation our parents lived through. So this is the new modern day legend. Baby on a playground, doing the most innocent thing, playing, got a little toy weapon. I'll say, oh, you shoot a 12-year-old baby down in 2 seconds. Not 2 minutes, 2 seconds. Met Michael Brown's father. They left the son out there for 5 to 6 hours, like roadkill. Where he choked them out. And the first thing they want to say, oh, he was selling a cigarette. No, he was executed. Our God was out there breaking up a fight. Had nothing to do with selling media paints and tanks out made for their fame. Just like they said, my brother was a heck. How can you have a car? That was my car. He would never disrespect me. He would not date the lady. I was with him. He just hooked me up for work. And he said, sis, you mind if I borrow your car? No, bro. He said, you coming with me? No, I'm going to go knock these little lesson plans out. Pick up the yacht, he says. The end. And I mean, the end. Now he's murdered. And I will be on the street. 9 years looking like I'm absolutely stone cold nuts because I'm telling them this house 2 days after they murdered him. It looked like a house raid. Who set people belongings out on the... Everybody, I don't know, police officers wouldn't do such. Shame on you, yelling stuff, doing trash out. But it wasn't until the people saw the GTF, the gun trade, do that. And you think it stopped? They still doing it.
Right.
How about that?
Right.
It ain't stopped. Talk about damage that's been happening years. Years of damage. They're going to continue.
This is just the fall, man.
They
just the ones that got, but yeah, it's still going
it's
on.
still.
They let all the higher ups retire.
They retire out of. They get to walk away. Get the
Pensions.
pension. Yeah, they get pay raises.
That's
Are they causing havoc in our? They causing havoc in our community. They get fully immunity. No questions asked, nothing. But we are the people. We have the power. They keep all that over there. What we're doing is so powerful. That's educating. Let you be thinking you're isolated. Oh my God, this happened to me. No, this is what happened. Then when they start disrespecting stuff about dead people, you're like, oh my God, how can people be so heartless? Why are they saying this stuff? Don't read the blogs. I mean to tell you, don't read the blogs because you're gonna hear all type of horrible stuff. It's designed by nature. This is what they do. But you have to stay focused on the truth. The truth never changes. 9 years, I'm still saying the same exact thing. Ain't nothing never changed. Only a lie. So at this moment, I'm gonna open up the mic. Whoever else want to say anything, I want to open up the mic. See if anybody else want to say anything. Yeah. Say what I'm saying.
How are we going to stand up and recognize mentally illness? Some to be a cry for help, like on a mountaintop, and they call up someone, please help me. And they're on their knees, and it's a mountain. They're on top of the mountain, and they yelling out, HEL. If Tyree, if it was repeated, same thing, the same thing. Sometimes something was wrong. Depression, mentally illness, or sometimes it is a cry for help. We need to recognize that instead of we should be thinking about a way to find help for these people.
How y'all doing again? I had time before he was killed. He was assassinated. and we were in the car and we were driving around and way go that way. Cars was following us, and I know this to be true. We went all the way to BWI that night, and Tyree was at the very point where as though I was really concerned about him. So the only thing that I could manage to do, because we couldn't get a rental car, only get him back home where he was safe, and I knew he had people that loved him. I didn't get to watch his live video, you know, that morning, but I could still feel, and I knew something wasn't right. I didn't know what it was, but turned out that, you know, that was very, very positive within the community, and you know, it's everybody can see. You can see from the videos and stuff like that this man was A to point Z. You know what I mean? They watched. They actually knew that I wouldn't be able to run any because I didn't have my vehicle, and they knew at my house the day before, and they knew that I did not have my keys. So they went and they murdered him just like that, and I can't stand it. I lost my mind the other day inside my apartment. Open with y'all. They took me to the hospital because I couldn't handle and the anguish of what's going on. Like I can't. I'm really, really, really hurt. Like that was my best friend. We still are. We still are. But that's how we gonna have to do music now. And you know, they taking too much away from the city, and they not trying. They not. You know, it's people that get granted the most heinous crimes in this city. Like what is going on? Understand what more do we need to do in order to run? Because nothing is being done. If we try to work with the police, you know, and that's only going to make us want to push back against them. Dude, if we can't work together, it's gonna all blow up, and pretty soon we ain't gonna have a city. No shoot zone.
No shoot zone.
And I just want to, you know, we talk about the Divide game, and I just really wanted to say also, they will write their own out the cover, just like Moses said he wanted to be with Tyree that day, and they knew, just like he was gunned down by his own. I don't care what they say. They try to say that this man killed himself. They try to with a different partner. They watch us and do things strategically. When I first got peacefully protesting like I always did, I was lied upon, and I could have been murdered. I'm still getting death because of a lie. So let's be crystal clear. They know exactly what they're doing. And then health issues. What about their mental health issues? Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that with your personal life. We should not have to be a result of Russian roulette that our family member might not survive. Right. Our life is in their hand. We might not. We need to stick together and knock this whole damn system down. Build the back up and do what we want to do. And have people in place that's going to actually work hard. Most of the people that are in the city hall, they be having real good ideas. Like before they get a higher pay, fought with them in the house, fight for different bills and laws, all that with me. But as soon as they get in there, that paycheck. Now it ain't about the people. It ain't about who put them in office. It ain't about no do this right. Ain't about none of that. It's about a paycheck. That's why people jump on. You should be the man. No, thank you. No, thank you. I'm just gonna keep urging y'all to keep telling y'all truth. We just need to know, when is it going to end? Is it ever going to 400 plus years of us getting murdered, lynched? They went from lynching to modern day lynching, getting gunned down, tasered to death, beat stuff. We also got to hold up the victim names that we don't even know about. It's not a Baltimore thing, unfortunately. It's a worldwide thing. Because if it wasn't a worldwide thing, family, because I have grown sons, I have teenagers, and a grown daughter with a safe environment. Well, where in America is me and my, where in America? I'm just being honest and transparent. I've been looking for that place. I've been looking for that. It's happening everywhere. But again, it's the divide and conquer game. Play us against each other. They'll play like police brutalities over here. Y'all need to stop killing your highway and how it's connected. I don't care what street you take. To get to 83, you might at least 83. It's going to lead to the highway. That's why they hate when uprisings happen. And unfortunately, when stuff starts burning, then the cameras start, they can't stand there. They can't stand it. You had bloods, collisions, everybody standing together. One cause, one purpose, one fight. And that's how it needs to be. You have to have our city burnt to the ground. Our babies watching it. One fight, one cause. We need to be in the street. We need to say, you know what? Let's get the day we ain't going to work and just don't go out all day. And the vote, I bet you things will start changing. You get things clapping, oh, things going to change. Things going to change. So, Mike check. I'm going to pass the mic to anybody else that want to say something. Mike check.
My name is Mosiah Fit. I just want to give institutional brutality and institutional neglect. The sister brought a quick rundown. I'm a 3-year veteran in the Army. I lost my daughter when I was in the military. At 15, I had a mental breakdown. I never really dealt with it. I tried to be very positive, but I had a mental breakdown. So I just got out of jail in July for about 3 months at Harford County Detention Center. I was showing suicidal signs. Inmate, my cellmate was trying to Wayne Files. He's still locked up. They sent him to another state. But I was drawing pictures. The COs was coming to my cell, laughing at my pictures. Health department there, they asked me what was wrong with me, and then they offered me a whole bunch of different kinds. They didn't have real diagnosis of what was going on with me, and then they even told me that this is not a facility. So it wound up getting so bad early in the mornings. I would have heat waves around my head. At the tip of myself on the outside, and I would always ask the sis that, and they said we don't know. So I felt like they were doing something to us, and then so I would hear things, feel heat around my head, thing was frying, and it got to the point where I hung myself. So I'm fortunate here today because I could be dead right now. I woke up in the emergency hospital, and when they brought me back, They put me in a suicide watch cell, probably the size of 4 bricks, 4 of these squares on the ground. It feces on the walls, feces on the floors, food on the floors. I asked them, please put me into a new. They ignored me. One of the CEOs, his name was Lanchester, because he knew that the cell was deplorable. Well, if we had a bigger budget, we would put you in a better cell and just close the door. And I lost it like I told him I would, and wound up almost hurting my. They came and got me. The warden, he came with his catons. And remind you, I'm naked. They put you in there naked in these rooms. So I'm in there naked. His name is Daniel Gaber. He came to my cell with his captains, and they tried to interrogate aggressively, very angrily, very still. And the warden says, "There's any more problems in here?" And if you don't, I'll pass the message down the. It's brutality, it's intimidation, even inside the jails. The sister, young men and our young women, especially those who have mental illnesses. I've been diagnosed with a major depression. I've been diagnosed with PTSD. And still means nothing to them. So, I've been doing my therapy. I've been going through that, but I am a witness that prisons neglect us, and if they never really deal with the mental health, all they're gonna wind up doing is coming back out to the streets with them. That's all I wanted to say.
I just want to thank you, my brother, for sharing, and I feel my brother's spirit right here, and I wanted to share something because I know what he was talking about. I remember the experience when he was out in Hagerstown, and he experienced racism. He was saying that they lit out in the kitchen and put a white boy in his place, and he said normally you have to have an infraction or something like that. He started writing letters, and then anybody that's ever been incarcerated, they start doing book study, their own representative, and he was sending them things. So he represented this case really good. And then I came to see him. God always showed me stuff in dreams, and I'll never forget the dream that I had about my. I dreamt, and this was a whole year before he got killed. But I had a dream, late breaking by police officers. And I'm like, oh my God! I woke up, and I'm thank God that it was a dream at that moment, my brother. So I'm sharing all this with him, and we're talking. He's like, yes, since they're gonna try to kill me here, you got to get me out. But once he came home, never knew this, but God gave me that vision. But nevertheless, I went to see him. Literally, they barred me and my auntie, which my aunt died, both of them. They matter of fact, they left her. Me and her came to see him together, and I never get known either. They never speak to us, but this morning they was extra friendly and nice. And I told him, I said, bro, they was extra nice. Pay raise around here, like everybody was really nice. He said, I don't know. He said, but since this checking when something happened, I guess they consider me as a rat because I, told. Long story short, that night they took my brother and they put him in something he called it the rubber room. He said it was an usher in there, butt naked, no clothes on. Literally, he said, and it was in the wintertime. It was 2 degrees outside, and they got all the windows open. And he's in there freezing. They kept coming in just like how they would have asked him. So who gave you the drugs? He was like, what drugs? What are you talking about? I don't have any drugs. What are you talking about? Like, you must be on drugs and you don't know about us. You're going to write out reports on us. And they was trying to intimidate. He was ready to die. And finally, but last but not least, when they came back and they said, who gave you the drugs? Which one? With your mom. So he said, man, he got a joke. He said, since you remind me of Jesus. He said, I said it was Jesus. I said, I'm like, what? So long story short, they wound up barring me from all the prisons in the sick, like all. But then they didn't. like it's so called he got drugs. Both of us was on the bench. He shouldn't have been. So we knew it was a game, and I fought like it in a week. Not even. Matter of fact, it was in 5 days. It wasn't even a whole week. Because I said, I don't know who y'all think y'all are playing. You know, and I said, then I said, y'all. I said he might be in there, but I already got my attorney on the outside because he reported racism there. I'm still alive. I'm still alive. You can stop me from coming in there, but I'm going down there to Hagerstown, Captain Tom, and I guarantee you. Oh, I'm sorry, Miss. I know what you're saying is real. I said all that. I know what you're saying is real. Definitely expressed it with my brother. Like what they do is anything mental health, they will try to. If you try to fight for anything right in there, they can abuse it. Hell of a fight for my nephew. That was Tyrone West's son. When he was incarcerated, they kept whose son he was. They started playing games with my nephew. Literally, I got everybody on Facebook to the point they came to call. I stopped the cars. We moving them. We gonna stop. Like it's real. Crying out for help, like the Queen said. All they asking for is help. Listen to them. Thing real. It's reality. Listen. All it takes. Sometimes you ain't even gotta say. Listen. Hear them out. Mic check. So I'm gonna open the mic up again. Mic check.
I'm not going to be with you long. I just wanted to sentence based on what I heard, the testimony, and the fact that we're still dealing with this. And now we got new families on the line. I just want to say that we keep each other safe. We all we got, we all we need.
All we got, all we need.
Say it again. We all we got.
All we need.
And that's a real statement. And it's not something that's a trope, but you can see it's evident that we all we got, we all we need. And then we got to keep each other safe. See the mental health conditions that's breaking down. Even that young man that just spoke, Mosiah Fit. And I wasn't even sure, or didn't even know what was going on this year until I got the phone call. So for me, it's like, I want to make sure I gather up correctly, that he's kept safe, so he can navigate. Because it's hard to navigate this country, as it is. And then you got to put something on the mental health. I don't even know how to read, and I know about Tyree. And we're not going to be here and go back and forth over all that stuff. But the bottom line is this. For all that was happening, it's like they didn't have to end in 14 bullets. And I don't want to live in a society where we think that you get as many bullets as you deserve. Or you get treated in an institution. That is not right. And once that's happened, the amount of stress that is on us right now, but oh, we know half the people mental health condition. I don't want them to be shot or be killed terribly like what they're talking about in New York. They're being gathered up because they're doing some weird stuff. We have to be better community members and seek this out, and we push for legislation to do to show up for each other and keep each other safe. That's what I got to say. Mic check.
And I just want to remind everybody, next week we'll be out again for Kevin. I mean, he was a soccer coach and he was murdered. Just imagine being a soccer coach and you go out with your team and you got your family there, and the security guards in there disrespecting you, doing any man, and then you get tasered and you get gunned down. It's not right. And I give a big shout out to that family because they every day down there shutting it down, just like the West family. So a big shout out to this family.
Yeah.
So if anybody else don't want to say or add anything, this is the part. Are you want to say something, Queen? No. Oh, okay. All right. So this is the part where I take 2 minutes of just silence. And before we take that 2 minutes, a big shout out again to Tyree's mother, his wife, beautiful wife, and just everybody that's out here tonight. I'm glad my brother survived, and just keep on your living testimony. Your life matters, all of our life matters. So big shout out to my sister for 5 hours to talk about her brother. And it said her heart was broken right before. Pay attention to when this state and city and whatever state and city you live in, they break our hearts doing what they doing. They literally, a day before Thanksgiving, they gave my family a partial only 3 days before Christmas. They broke my family heart, called us in again, and said, "What time to murder your brother because he died of a bad heart." Really? My brother died of a straight case torture in broad daylight, murdered, bloody murder. And like I said, we know the difference that when we put in much we matters. Community violence as well as police brutality. We're here to uplift anybody being murdered. And I'll say it around the world. So I want to take 2 minutes because we're gonna read before we take 2 minutes, my friend wanna say something. Mic check.
I felt like the first time I had the mic, I wasn't prepared to get my thoughts together. And what I would like to say right now is that the for Tyree is an image of somebody who he wasn't. Him, a black guy on top of a Caucasian woman. So I would just like to take a second to give you guys a better image and a better picture of who, right? Tyree was loving, caring. Tyree was a human being. He was no monster. Tyree black. His favorite cereal was any cereal. He loved to teach my 3 boys who aren't his biological children. He gave them many lessons. He took them out for rides. He took them out to the playground. He took them out. He studied with them. He taught them about Allah, who he loved very much. Talked as he can to whoever would listen. He was the only male figure, and he was the one who brought us to and it's heartbreaking that his very legend that most of us have of him is tragic with all that he's given to family, but the city of Baltimore. It's so many people who comment to remember Tyree over in the jail. Just last year, he was arrested because similar to the one that he had that ended his life, and so he had a few months. And I used to send him money in commissary, and I remember him calling me and saying, "Thank you to send me a couple more dollars because the money that you gave me, I took and I brought cereal for some of the guys on my pod, and nobody wanted to take it from me, take nothing from nobody, right?" He said, "So I just set the bowls of cereal out on the table, and whoever wanted to get it wanted to be a blessing to somebody." This was the type of person that he was. He didn't have to load you from a change out the console in the van and just give it to a homeless person. Even though he didn't even take the loose change just to give. This was the type of guy he was. He absolutely loved. I remember him saying he loved animals more than he loved humans. It's just so unfortunate that was our last memory. I'm going to do. It is most certainly my responsibility, everything in my body, and to be his voice because he's no longer here to speak for himself. It's my obligation. What he did prior to me meeting him. And I were together for the last 2 years. I wasn't there. I can't speak on it, and I won't. But what I can speak on is all the way up until before he lost his life, I was with him. And I know the type of person that he was. And I'm going to God bless.
That was beautiful. Thank you. That was so. Can we take our 2 minutes? I want y'all to take a minute and look at intimidation at its fullest. All these homicides in the city. Y'all can't go and solve none of that, but you can come watch entertain victims. You can come watch victims with your police car. We don't care. And while you watching us, make sure you get the message clear. We can't stop. Stop. Until killer cops are so black.
Stop.
We won't stop.
We won't stop.
Until killer cops are so. We not gonna stop. We ain't gonna wear so watch us all day. Get your little overtime all day. We stand and doing what we doing. All right. Everything. Again, I want to thank each and every last one of you. So this is the two sad list. Unfortunately, it's community violence and it's so we're gonna take 2 minutes to pray. If you pray, because we know that I am, but I don't speak for the West Coalition. I speak for Tawanda Jones. But if you pray, if you don't, that's fine. You know, just send positive thoughts and everything to the families that are suffering right now, because even though you hear a name, that's someone to be your family. It will be your family, unfortunately, if we don't change this. It will be, unfortunately, your family. It's a matter of when will you get that knock, and what is your response going to be? So again, let's take for both these lists. Oh, we must be real important tonight. 2 minutes. Mike check. Guys, and then I also just wanted to mention, because I feel it in my spirit, we also, everybody that is a victim don't die. So I apologize for all this, like in this space is always saying about the two sadness, but we're also here and to just survive to the survivors that survived through the trauma of that's sad, and it's heartbreaking. So again, we're gonna start off, and I don't know who had the list. Brian is gonna start off, unfortunately, with our City of Baltimore homicide list. Mike check.
Thank you. Before I read this, and sort of in relation to what have been murdered in the past week here in Baltimore, and we hear about mental health crisis and instability and people going through it. So many times what we really see is people who are just exhausted from being girl. We're seeing people who just can't hold it together anymore. It's an insane world that kills people almost every day. In Baltimore alone, we're killing. I think this week we had 6 don't even know who their names yet. But to try and the world is just almost impossible. And what you do to help all of us hold on a little longer is just say back the names and I read them out. Henry Jones, Travis Curry,
Travis Curry. Skinner.
Theodore Barksdale. Thank you.
Mike Check will be reading our police brutality list. Mike Check.
So again, these are folks who were killed across the country since we last read a list. I'm going to read the dates and the places and the name. That for each of these people is a family, is a community, are people who are missing these folks and who are in pain. Is Eric Holmes, 19-year-old man, died 2022 in Clayton County, Georgia. Eric Holmes, 23-year-old man, on November 21st, Eden, Georgia, Laurel Chapman.
Laurel Chapman.
On November 22nd, in Jacksonville, Florida, Tyree
Devin O'Neill.
39-year-old man, 22nd, in Washington County, Virginia, Travis W. Fields. 30-year-old man, November 23rd, in Cody Allen Smedstead.
Cody Allen Smithson.
Unidentified person on November 24th in Buffalo, Oklahoma.
Cops.
Ashe. 41-year-old man in Fountain, Colorado, Ross Milton Florsheim. 50-year-old woman, 2022, in Round Rock, Texas, Angela Nichols. 46-year-old man, November 25th, 2022, in Corpus Christi, Texas.
Jose Torres.
On November 25th, 2022, an unidentified man.
Cell blocks for killer cops.
2022, Caldwell, Idaho, an unidentified person.
Ashe.
On November 26th, 2022, another unidentified person.
Cell blocks for killer cops. Ashe.
27th, 2022, St. Petersburg, Florida,
Gus Spendosis.
On November 22nd, 2020, an unidentified person.
Cell blocks for killer cops.
2022, Stafford County, Virginia, an unidentified person.
Ashe.
November 29th, 2022, in Frederick, Maryland. And
Cell blocks for killer cops. Ashe.
Thank you.
Again, I want to thank each and every last person for coming out tonight. I want to thank each and every person live feed. And I just want to thank you guys. And just remember, this is a day, and this is a day that we will never see again. So make each and every day count. Do the best, whatever you can do for somebody, whether it's be a listening ear, whether it's if you got a few dollars, you can get them with somebody. Do it now. Give people their flowers while they're here. Because guess what? Nobody can. At the end of the day, we all have that time and place where we're all gonna say goodbye. But what will our final moments be? We never know that, but we know what we can produce now. Keep living, and as I always say, live to love to live. I love you all. We'll see you guys next week. Tyree, more here, family. Love you guys. Thank you so much for coming out. I know it's a, thank you, my sister Queen Angela. Love you, my queen. Thank you so much. Thank each and every one.
Right, Chad.